Alright, let's get right into it. What's the age-old axiom? Be careful what you wish for. Well, you asked for it, and here it is. The season of the worthy so far is shaping up to be less than that. It seems as though, after all the hype has died down, we're seeing what this season is shaping up to be. Lackluster. The linchpin of this farcical mess is Trials of Osiris. We are now 3 weeks into Trials, and participant numbers are down dramatically. Players on every platform all seem to have the same main complaint. Farming for tokens is out of hand. The reward system is not really worth the effort. Upper tier players in their hunt and their quest for dominance are killing the very thing they have waited so long for. Trials is fundamentally broken. Aside from all the usual glitches and bugs, expected with every seasonal release, Trials has taken this to a whole new level. I mean, think about it for a minute. How downtrodden would you feel if after sweating your butt off and somehow navigating your way to 6 flawless wins, you're on the cusp of number 7 and then blam, beaver. Too bad, so sad, try again. Naturally, it's always our connection and our fault, right, Bungie?
What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. You're pulling ahead. Keep it that way.
If you think that's the main part of this video, though, you'd be wrong. But wait, there's more. The main culprit of disappointment with Trials is the way it is currently set up and how it is being exploited by hackers, cheaters, DDoSers, DDoS masters, whatever you want to call them, and recovery artists. The problem is sort of twofold. With the lack of genuine, adept weapons, there is no real reason to go flawless, other than for bragging rights or a piece of armor, being a mark, a bond, or a cloak, depending on what character you're running when you get there.
I love them. Zone A lost.
That being said, players, especially higher skilled players, are farming tokens for rewards received at 3, 5, and 7 wins, and then clearing their cards to start the cycle over and over again. This kind of farming circumvents the current system where your beginning Trials matches are based on connection, then on your Trials wins, theoretically matching you up against more players of your own skill level. This effectively places them in lower tier or skilled matches where they can run rampant over unwitting partners in this dance. But what that does in the short and long term is turn players off from playing as they feel it's pointless. Unless you run with a carry squad, a streamer that runs with other streamers, or you pay for the service of a flawless run Sherpa or account recovery guru, whatever you want to call them. But the more players utilize these avenues, the more they invariably reduce the amount of players available to them in the playlist. Destiny players have been on edge for a long time. And the balance of fickle, casual players versus hardcore players is a very fine line. Bungie has reached out and made the game as open as possible to the casual player in the hopes of averting more attrition of the player base. Keeping that in mind, the casual player will not and has not wanted to stay in or play Trials after getting mollywopped in the first few matches of Trials. The casual player, after having spent what little time they have to play in order to reach base level 960, that's 960 for you mathematicians, just to enter Trials, is not going to stick around after getting battered so mercilessly. They will leave and either play in another part of the game or put down the game completely, leaving them with a bad taste in their mouth. With the Trials player base being reduced by such attrition, only a select amount of players will remain. The matches will and have been getting sweatier. Enter the hacker, cheater, or carry service. The market is open and business is good. Players still want to brag and show off their Trials gear and their goods, but for those not willing or good enough to get through the Trials gauntlet, they will employ these types of services.
Double down. Zone C captured.
The effects of these corrosive services are multiplying in their reach. The more people run into them, the more they leave. The smaller the pool of available Trials players becomes. Insert additional sweat here, etc., etc., etc. Bungie proudly peacocked that they would be watching and dropping the ban hammer on cheaters and hackers, but they don't disclose the number of cheaters caught or banned, which I think would go a long way towards discouraging cheaters. I mean, let's face it, transparency has never really been Bungie's strong suit anyway, so don't hold your breath. Bungie has yet to figure out a truly balanced PvP solution. It is quite evident that their proficiency is in PvE. PvP in Destiny has always felt like a tacked on item anyway, with no true attention or devotion. Just look at this current mess we call Trials. So many players clamored for its return as a fix to PvP. They thought it would solve all that was wrong with the Crucible and Iron Banner. Bungie took over a year to work on it and reintroduce it.
The enemy doesn't respect your lead. Demanding. Zone A captured.
All it has done is show how much better Crucible and Iron Banner is right now. Could this change? Of course. But in order for that change to happen, Bungie has to really take a hard look at their efforts. They have to come to the realization that they either need to slow down the release of seasons in order to provide better and more satisfying and meaningful content, or they have to enlist the aid of another studio to take on their PvP aspect of their IP. We, as a community, cannot and should not continually support these half-baked, refurbished seasons with the same basic mechanics in a new skin. The content has to become better, more well thought out, and especially well implemented in order for this game to thrive again. This season is not worthy. We have officially entered into the Trials of Bungie. Bungie, you're on the clock and you have a lot to do. Get good. And that's it for this video, so please remember to comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.